Project Sign?
Project Sign was installed by the ATI Air Technical Intelligence Center Governmental at Wright-Patterson Base, Dayton, Ohio. Part of the staff was already working on some of these cases since the Ghost rockets from Scandinavia. Thus, Project Sign was also a type of continuation of some preliminary work. A great irony is that Wright-Patterson Air Base was exactly where the remains of the Roswell crash was supposed to have been shipped to. Project Sign came to life on the 22nd of January 1948, and its first case was Mantell's case. Their early investigations were poor, but with experience and the help of a few scientists, especially Alan Hynek, their analysis improved a lot. They also contacted the FBI to help with the verification of witnesses, reliability and credentials. To provide an idea of such investigations, we shall describe a few Project Sign cases. On the 17th of January 1948, a metallic object of big proportions was spotted at Goodman's AFB, Kentucky. 4 F-51s were flying in the region, and they were vectored to carry on the interception. As the object climbed further, one of the F-51s returned to the base. As it accused mechanical problems, the other climbed up to a certain level, but stopped the pursuit as they were not equipped with oxygen. Only Mantell continued. Mantell communicated that the object was massive and metallic. He also reported that the object was moving. At some point, the communication was lost and his plane went down. There are a lot of controversies here on what really happened and whether it was a balloon or a UFO. It is very likely that during the interception, the pilot passed out due to a lack of oxygen during the climb. If that is so, he took a risk and paid a high price for it. This type of occurrence is not unheard of. It is not even unusual. This part of the incident is likely to have been into the realm of the expected. The question then shifts to what Mantell was trying to intercept. The first official explanation was that the pilot was following the planet Venus, and as he was climbing, he fainted due to rarefied air. Also, one must be a bit credulous that the pilot would confuse a big metallic flying object for a tiny planet. The explanations offered were usually ludicrous and without any criteria, which just enforced the anomalous character of the phenomenon. Years later, Ruppelt re-examined the files through the theory that the object could be a skyhook balloon. The skyhook balloon was a big meteorological balloon that no one was familiar with at that period. However, there is a controversy here. Some researchers affirm that there was not a single balloon around the area, though Ruppelt believed it was possible. Possible doesn't mean make it viable. It is an assumption at best. Then there is the report of object accelerating, which doesn't fit into a balloon description. Ruppelt's attempt to pigeonhole the skyhook balloon as an explanation, this didn't fit well with his profile of a fair investigator. Ruppelt went to assumptions that were slim, still he pushed them forward. If there was a small chance for a balloon that could fit mildly in the description, he would try to fit in instead of considering it a probable UFO. Thus Mantell's case was labeled as a misidentification of a skyhook balloon. One of the most interesting cases of this first phase was the Gorman encounter. Gorman, piloting a Mustang, was about to land when he encountered a small UFO.
Lieutenant George Gorman of the North Dakota National Guard had an encounter that he described as 25 minutes dogfight with a flying saucer over the town of Fargo.
I was about to land at the Fargo airport after a routine patrol flight with a F-51 airplane. I was cleared by the tower to land when I noticed what seemed to be the taillight of another airplane about 1,000 yards away. I cleared the tower and they told me that the only other aircraft over the left side was a Piper Cub. This little plane I could see plainly outlined below me. It was not the one I'd noticed. I looked again. Now I could see no outline of anything around the tower light. I decided to take a close-up look at it. It was around 8 inches in diameter, clear white and completely round, with a sort of fuzz at the edges. But as I approached it, the light suddenly became steady and pulled into a sharp left bend. I thought it was making a pass at the tower. I dived after it. I started gaining altitude and again made a left turn. I now put my F-51 into a sharp turn and tried to cut the light in my turn. Suddenly the thing made a sharp turn right. We headed straight for each other. Just when we were about to collide, I guess I got scared. I went into a dive, and the light passed over my canopy at about 10 feet.
The controller, Mr. L.D. Jensen, had with astonishment noticed the strange antics of the light, and Mr. Gorman, he watched through binoculars. He said he could not make out any shape or form other than what seemed to be the taillight of a very fast-moving aircraft. Project Saucer marked this one as a dogfight with a balloon, despite being observed from two different vantage points, the cockpit and the ground. Furthermore, this was not a one-off incident. There was a second encounter, and Wilkins relates like this.
On November 18th, 1948, occurred another strange encounter in the sky above Andrews Airfield in the state of Washington, D.C. Lieutenants Combs and Jackson were flying a T-6 plane. Combs was preparing to land when at 9:40 p.m. a mysterious globe, green in color and throwing off a curious blurred light, intercepted the plane. Combs could see the light maneuver. He managed to land safely.
This is the end of this video. Project Sign began with curiosity still intact. The investigators in the field were serious. Tragedy didn't silence the questions. That was just the beginning.